Greetings, family. My name is Lavelle Fleming. I am the site coordinator for Antelope Valley YouthBuild. And so I just want to introduce to you our event and let you know what you're about to experience. We have our community action project, and the name of it is called Beauty from Ashes. It's an empowerment virtual summit to help us be aware of the experiences we all had as individuals and as a community, and how we have thrived in those things. And so the theme is Beauty from Ashes. So it's bringing awareness of what's going on in the lives of our students, community leaders, and not only what's going on, but to celebrate how we have overcome in many areas. And so it's to bring awareness and celebration. So what you're about to hear is stories, presentations, art pieces, poetry, different things from our students, community members, as well as some of our community leaders. And so we want you to just sit back, enjoy, and be empowered. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wendy, and I'll be doing our pledge. We, the members of Antelope Valley YouthBuild, pledge to focus on our educational goals, to become stronger leaders in our communities, and to rebuild as one, to become respectful and productive citizens, to raise our level of consciousness in all aspects of life, beginning with ourselves, our families, YouthBuild, and our communities. As young people, we must embrace the opportunities given to us and be on a positive road to success. Therefore, we stand committed to all the above, with excellence, respect, perseverance, and see you at graduation.
Hi, my name is Katherine Vasquez, and this is a story about one of my hardest challenges. I was born in El Salvador, and at the age of 7, I had to migrate to the United States of America. I came here with one of my aunts that I hardly knew. It wasn't even like my parents, because my parents were already here in the U.S. It was very difficult because I wasn't with any of my parents, and I hardly knew my aunt, which made it seem like, in a way, for kids to get really scared. The trip was really difficult because there was a lot of walking, hiking, running, like hiding from immigration, and you're just surrounded with people that you don't know. I remember a part where we have to get like underneath those big 8-wheeler trailers, and they will give us pills so we wouldn't urinate or like do number 2 in the trailer or like on our trips, because when we get in the trailers is when we're going like on the highway. I never took the pills because I was scared of the pills, so I just would hold in anything that I had to do. It was very difficult because there's a lake that you have to cross, and I remember that we had like those floaty boats. So one of those floaty boats, like, it popped, and we were like trying to fix it, and when we were trying to fix it, we were like on the shore of the lake, and that's when we seen like an immigration like boat pass, and everyone had to hide, and it was just really scary, because when that happens, you know, you're doing something illegally, but you're also coming for a better future for yourself. So it's scary to think that it could all end like if they find you, but luckily I'm here and they didn't find me. Someone that supported me through that challenge was some stranger, a guy that would carry me and put me on top of his shoulders when he would see that I was already tired. I was like the only kid there, I believe, and it was just adults. So all of the adults would like care for me, like all the ladies, but especially the guy. It was very difficult because I didn't have no connection with my mom or my dad. Like, I couldn't call them because you cannot call them. Nobody knows anything of you, so everyone's just praying that you get where you have to go safely. I didn't just come here just to sit down and look pretty. I came here to be someone, and it's taken me a long time to graduate high school, but I just have 1 more month left and I'm already there. And after that, I want to keep going to college and continue like my education. There's plenty of things I want to do. I can either major in art because I love art. I could be a child psychologist, or I could be a kindergarten teacher. Those are 3 of my main course goals that I want to take. But because of that trip and that whole challenge that I made, it has given me like more more craving of that success. Like, I really want it really badly because my mom paid tons of money, first of all, to get me here. And she was very sad that she didn't want me to be in Salvador. Like, she didn't want to make her life right here and then one of her kids be over there with nobody. So she made sure that I was here. So I want to make sure that I give something to my mom in return, which will be my high school diploma, my college diploma, and everything else that I have to offer that's good. It was a very difficult challenge, but I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I didn't get caught. I'm glad that now I'm a DACA student, like a DACA recipient, and they could give us a chance to give us a green card and then later on apply for citizenship, which is another blessing that I'm really thankful for. Thank you for listening to my story.
And so I was able to testify at the Supreme Court when Trump tried to stop DACA. And so ever since DACA's been under attack, the reason that it passed in the first place was because young people put their lives on the line, like literally, to make sure that it passed, right? And so a lot of credit often gets, given to Obama, but it's really like young people just like you who make stuff like that happen. And when it's under attack, like it's our job to stand up. And sometimes like we don't even get the benefit from it, but we know that other people just like us will. And so I think that that's like the beauty in activism. That's the beauty in community organizing, that like we can do so much for people who are experiencing the same things that we are.
You are awesome, Ms. Reyes. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And we're just getting started, and that's awesome. So the next presenters you're going to hear is going to be from the teachers. And so we're going to have Ms. Ruth, then Mr. Paul, then Mr. Reyes, then Ms. Bear, and then we'll come to our trivia question. Take it away, Ms. Ruth.
All right, so hello everyone, and thank you for attending our event. So for the projects in my class, I asked them to create an art project that is made from recycled materials, because our theme is about beauty from ashes. So you know that there's wealth in trash. So I asked them to create an art piece that will represent them, will represent the challenges and the trials that they had to undergo and shape them the person they are today. So they're going to be presenting their art piece, and then after that, they also were asked to create a poem to tell their story, like who they were, who they are now, and who they intend to be. So the first one that's on my list is from Pete Mesa. So he's an amazing student, and he created something that will represent him. These are the materials that he used. He used some cardboard boxes, and this is what he came up with. And then a brief explanation about that art piece, and that is the explanation of this project. And then I'm giving you Pete right now to read his poem.
When I was a young child, I was thrown into a pit of despair. I lost all hope, yet I continued to go forward, walking aimlessly through the dark, finally found the light I was looking for. I found the hope I've lost, and yet I fear I may lose it again. I will use this moment to better myself. I'm a caring person, not a heartless person. I intend to be someone strong. I wish to take care of others and push them forward. It does my heart good, helping those in need. Life is short, better to not have any regrets.
Okay, thank you so much, Pete. Our next one is from Rudy. So Rudy's project is called Sparky, and this is the picture of Sparky: front view, back view, and side view.
Well, the title of my poem was How It Went. I recycled a box and toothpicks, and guess what? I was a loser. I got it done, and it was a catch, but I'm turning it in, so that's a match. It was hard to recycle and remodel something, but like every structure, it comes together. And no, I didn't use feathers, so I'm good. So good day, and I'm so glad we finally won.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's show our appreciation to Rudy by giving him heart or thumbs up or clap.
Okay, so I am Mr. Paul. I am the history teacher for our school. And so everything that I teach is basically stories of stuff that has happened in the country. I share my story with my students at the beginning of the year. And for this one, we're going to have the students share their story with us. We're going to have one presenter at this time. This is Pete.
As a child, I witnessed many unfortunate events. I witnessed abuse and having to lose my father at a young age. When this happened, my life was spiraled out of control. My relatives had cut off contact with my family and left us blaming us for my father's death. At that time, my mother and I were suffering. We had to couch surf and ask for necessities. At the age of 10, I was experiencing all of this and didn't attend school for how often we were moving. I really made friends because I would leave soon without any warning. I remember when my mother and I were waiting at a hotel to be picked up by a family friend. The guy was nice enough to give me money to buy snacks out of a vending machine. After that act of kindness, I never forgot it and was thankful to him. A few months later, we would be able to find our own place. I attended school for a few years and then moved to Mojave. Every time I would attend a new school, I had difficulty learning because every school was different and learning different things at that time. While attending Mojave High, my mother had a stroke. It scared me to death and made me lose focus on school. After this experience, it made me want to help my mother and take care of her. While I attended Mojave High, I was experiencing depression and being belittled by teachers for not understanding what to do. After all this, I eventually moved to Palmdale. After not going to school for 2 years, I attended YouthBuild. From the events I experienced, it shaped me to be more caring and loving to those I know. I lost many people and pets in my life so quickly. I felt so lost many times, and somehow I found my way back. After I stopped attending school, I still wanted to graduate and make my family proud. That this led me to YouthBuild after being recommended by others. Throughout the years, my family has been giving me support I needed to overcome my obstacles. I wish to graduate and become an RM2 to help those in pain. I believe that many others can overcome their struggles from the past and push forward to their goals and become successful people for their families.
I've known Pete now for over a year. He's been in a couple of my classes. I knew that this would be very difficult for him, but I know that what he can be and the greatness that I've watched in him grow over this past year, and he did a great job. Thank you, Pete, very much.
Hi, how are you? I teach English at AVYB. It's my privilege and that I get to do this. So our students, I asked them to create a presentation about their life and to focus on their strengths throughout their challenges during this pandemic, because as we all know, it's a lot of work to be a student, to be family members, to be employed during this kind of day. So with that, I want to introduce one of our amazing students, and they're all amazing, Miss Britt Gonzalez.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany. So we had to do a presentation. I titled mine Pushing Through the Pandemic. Okay, so a pandemic is basically a widespread disease that happens over a region. We just entered one like a year ago. If it hasn't been a year, it's about to mark a year that we got hit with COVID and had many losses and deaths from that. I had to face many challenges. My major challenge that I faced was dealing with finances. Literally right before the pandemic, I had set out to move back here to California to finish school and be back close to my family. Right when I moved back, 2 weeks later, we went into quarantine. So that kind of messed up my plans a little bit. I had to stop working. When I was younger, I was sick. So my immune system is not very strong or anything. So it's more safe for me to stay home. So that I've never not worked since the age of 16. So me not working was very challenging. Once this came about, months in, I was just late payments, late car notes, and a bunch of build up expenses that I had. And I had to figure out something that I had to do because I knew I couldn't go back into the environment that we're living in. I do my lashes and stuff. So I end up deciding to take on a self-employment. I decided to take my talents, become a lash technician. I invested into taking an online course. After 3 weeks, I was already certified and I was able to take in clients. If you don't know about eyelashes, They start at around like $50 all the way up to $200. You can set your own price. And in my area, like a lot of girls like to get it done. Fortunately for me, I have lots of followers like on social media. So it's easy for me to get clientele. It wouldn't seem like doing eyelashes would like make you a lot of money, but trust me, it's able to make sure car insurance is paid, phone bills paid. I get to set my own prices and how many clients I take a day and all that. So I was able to manage it out correctly to where I knew my funds would take care of me. So this pandemic has definitely set me down and taught me things that I needed to learn, especially saving money wise, because I'm the type to like spend $20 on a meal and not even finish it, but not anymore. I learned that I'm really not as much as a materialistic person that I thought I was. Aside from doing eyelashes for finances, things that did help me financial wise was focusing on school. That gave me more time to do my work. I really am not sure when the pandemic will be over, but I would probably not seek a 9-to-5 job again because I really do like the self-employment that I went into. And I do plan to further my education after I'm done at YouthBuild. Whenever I was working a full-time job, it was like, I feel like was the reason why I could never finish school. I was always worried about work more than school. So I feel like with this time, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be going to college for nursing and I'm gonna have to like focus on that. That's pretty much all I got for you guys. And I was really nervous, so you guys better like my presentation. Let's get it.
Thank you, Brittany. You did an excellent job on the project and the presentation.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So for my class, they did an About Me presentation. So throughout the whole presentation, they kind of described challenges and places that they were at, where they're at now, and where they plan on going. So Edgar, when you're ready, you can unmute yourself and you can go ahead and read your poem.
I am reliable and honest. I wonder would I ever succeed? I hear a big applause. I see my mama happy. I want a better life. I'm reliable and honest. I pretend my old life never existed. I feel unstoppable. I touch the clouds in the sky. I worry about leaving my kids behind. I cry for my loved ones that passed. I'm reliable and honest. I understand I will be successful. I say I will make it in life. I dream of no more sorrow. I try my hardest to be the best. I hope my kids don't follow my same footsteps. I'm reliable and honest.
Thank you, Edgar.
Okay, now we go to the second block of our event. My presentation comes in 2 parts. One is their recycled art that represents who they are. And then the second is their poem that would tell a story of who they were, who they are now, and who they hope, who they intend to become. This is Lena. So her materials, she just used paper and scissors. Her project is actually an art of making up paper images through the use of folding. It might look simple, but she actually researched on how to fold this properly and create a butterfly out of a simple paper. And then she said, I chose to use butterflies because it symbolizes change and growth. And overall, I'm showing how change can be a beautiful thing. And here's Lena to read her her poem.
Okay, the only person who gets to decide your worth is you. As I look into the mirror and the star within me, perhaps you can understand that's the same about you. Love yourself, take the actions that are necessary for your happiness. Allow yourself to flourish into the best you can be. As you begin to love yourself, you won't regret your progress. Kill your inner critic and allow yourself to grow.
Let us show our love to Lena. Thank you so much, Lena. She really put her best effort into this one.
Okay, so it's back to me. The young lady I'm going to have speak today, I knew when I saw her for the first time that she would be good at getting up in front and speaking people. And it is Alexis.
Okay, great. I'm a little nervous. While my story makes some feel sad, it may touch a soft spot for others, and it makes a lot of you feel sorry for me. I sincerely ask that you don't allow yourself to feel or do any of those things. I share my story to inspire, encourage, to give hope, and to help people understand me. Because of my experiences, positive and negative ones, I'm wise enough to understand that God has created us all individually and unique. Our life experiences, good and bad, shape us into the people we eventually become. I was specially chosen to endure my trials and tribulations so I can help others, understand others, and be the best version of me. For instance, if I had graduated school when I was supposed to, I may not have had the luxury of meeting all of my family at AVYB. I would not have had the opportunity to have my writing published in a magazine. All this was supposed to happen. Everything that I've been through is not what you go through that defines who you are. It's how you choose to get through it. I chose not to be a victim, but to fight. Instead, I fight for my children. I fight for people with addictions. I fight for those who battle depression in silence. I fight for teen moms. I fight for high school dropouts. I fight for battered women. I fight for families abandoned. And last but not least, I fight for me. My fight is what gets me through this journey. So I hope my story helps you all. Okay, so my name is Alexis Jackson. I'm 26 years old, and I'm currently a full-time student at AVYB. I reside in Palmdale, California, with 4 of my 5 children and my significant other. Being a young mother who's actively in school and doing distant learning at home with not only myself, but my children, I find myself having issues with time management. I tend to procrastinate more often than not. However, I will say I am passionate about everything I do, and I go above the call of duty when given a task. Upon initial enrollment at AVYB, I wasn't very confident that I would remain dedicated to the process. I've had some moments of distraction and discouragement, but I'm back, and every time I submit an assignment, I feel so accomplished. I'm proud of myself for not giving up. I have experienced more challenging things in my short years than some do in a lifetime. Some things I brought on myself and others were just unfortunate circumstances. Please listen to me when I say that I'm not sad or discouraged by my experiences. Every single thing I've encountered has helped to create the immaculate woman that I am today. As a young child, I realized that men objectified me. I was confused because the attention seemed like a good thing, but my young mind knew well enough to know something was not right about a grown man showing interest in a child. A little too much. I've always had great intuition, and for a whole week, I had begun to feel uncomfortable around my mother's boyfriend, whom I was very close with previously. I was 10, 2 nights prior to my 5th grade graduation culmination. The man I knew as a father figure had taken my innocence in the worst way imaginable. But that was not the worst part. It almost killed me when not one person who was supposed to protect me, including my mother, believed me. That changed me. As time progressed, I grew into a teenager. I found myself longing to feel loved and protected. That's how it usually goes in troubled households. That's where my oldest son's father came into play. He was rough around the edges, thuggish, delinquent, and he was head over heels for me. I ended up dating him exclusively at the age of 12. By 13, I was pregnant with his child. When my son was born, I tried to resume regular high school like normal teens, but it just wasn't working for me for many reasons. The biggest one being time spent away from my newborn baby. After countless attempts to finish high school, I eventually gave up. By 17, I was about to give birth to my second son, still no diploma, no job, no car, no driver's license, but I did have my own apartment, and I'd taken pride in that, being so young with my own. Well, I realize now it takes more than having an apartment to survive, especially if you're having babies back to back. My first husband was much older than I. He charmed his way into my young heart. I followed that man blindly. It didn't matter how many women he stepped out with, how many nights he didn't come home, just as long as he did. He was mine. That is how my immature mind processed things. I never really had much of an example of what a healthy relationship looked like growing up. My mother was abused by every man she dated, and my father cheated on his women like it was a hobby or something. He asked for my hand in marriage, and we sealed the deal in May of 2016. That didn't last long. After 7 years and about 2 years of marriage, we went our separate ways. But he had left me with 3 young children. He did help, but I had to adjust to being a single parent. It really wasn't bad once I realized how much he really wasn't helping when he was in the household due to his alcohol addiction. We remained friends and we were able to co-parent. Well, after all, unfortunately, he died on Father's Day of 2019. I was seeing someone prior to his death, and in my vulnerable state, we grew closer, and he asked me to marry him. I did. We had a good thing going. He went to work every day. I went to school every day. Our children went to school. They attended the after school program. We prayed together. We had endless conversations about our past and future. I was genuinely happy. So were my children. Long story short, he ended up sleeping with my younger sister. Upon further investigation, I realized I was married to a stranger, a psychopath, who I had known him to be was all a lie. I think the only truth about him was the information on his birth certificate, and even that was questionable. He had stopped working and began dealing with some shady people, doing some shady things. He maxed out our bank account, used it to steal from his boss, stole from others, and 15 weeks pregnant with my daughter. Well, I've not heard from him since. He disappeared, besides a text saying I was too good for him. He's sorry he ever came into my life. And that almost broke me. Writing this was a big part of my healing. I constantly asked myself at the time, what could I have done differently? But the truth of the matter is, it was all supposed to happen for a greater purpose God had for me. I am currently in a relationship, and the ultimate goal is marriage eventually. However, we're both in understanding that self-love and self-improvement is pivotal to a successful marriage, and providing a healthy, happy life for our children is priority right now. On October 14, 2020, I gave birth to my precious baby girl, Jelani Williams. I developed diabetes and I was admitted to the hospital. How often I require insulin had me nervous. But she's here, she's 5 months, and we're both healthy. My partner has a son, and we're currently in the process of him adopting our daughter, Jelani. She already has his last name. He treats her and my other children as if they were his biological children. Our families blend perfectly, and we have a close bond. His family has been so generous and supportive to us. They accept us with open arms. As a matter of fact, his aunt and uncle just gifted us with a car and asked for nothing in return. They just want to see us do well and take care of these children and each other. I am forever grateful for the blessings the Most High has poured down on our family. We are blessed abundantly. A lot of unfortunate things have occurred in my life, more than I can fit into a paper. The fact that I am alive and mentally well enough to write about it is a blessing and a testimony. I am stronger. I'm wiser. I know how to be happy within myself and not base my happiness on anyone else. I am a survivor, and for that reason, I will be successful in anything I do. So I'll see you all at graduation. I hope I didn't make nobody cry, because I'm about to. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Beautiful job. And I just really appreciate everyone, Alexis and you and everyone's being transparent and also sharing your healing journey with us.
Hi, my name is Katherine, and this is who I'm interviewing.
Hi, my name is Carlos, and the challenge I'll be talking about is getting into college.
How did you get through this challenge?
Mainly just looking for help, like counselors or just anyone who's done the process or has some experience.
And who supported you through these challenges?
Well, the counselors that I found, and mainly my parents, because they're the ones that wanted me to go to college, so that helped me push through it.
Okay. And what kind of life lessons would you share with others based on your experience?
Honestly, be open to new things and be open to struggle, because you will struggle. I mean, it's college and life is the same thing. You will struggle. So just be open to trying new things and being open to fail.
Great. Thank you.
What is one challenge that you face, and how did you get past those challenges? Poverty. And okay. I can't with that. Okay, what you call it, poverty. At a young age, my mother and I were both homeless, and we didn't have money after my father died, so we were struggling. And The only way that I got through that was just great coping mechanisms like drawing and writing and reading. And I love school a lot, so it's easy to do all of those. As long as you believe in yourself and just strive harder to be a better person each and every day, you can pass all those obstacles. Most definitely, but you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you're
oh, I am so beautiful.
Right. If you gotta believe in yourself, be so beautiful. Because if you don't think you're beautiful,
And now, say, oh,
the end. Bye.
Yeah, so our next speaker is going to be Mr. Christian Green. He is a civic leader, professor, political activist, author, motivator, and speaker.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you all are doing great and fabulous. I am encouraged and empowered by all the stories that I've been hearing. Miss Alexis, that was really, really good. I'm gonna have to encourage you to get out there and write a book. Same thing to Britt and all the other speakers. I want to say thank you guys for sharing your story, for being vulnerable and being present. For those that don't know, I'm a teacher by trade. I teach community college, but I also teach UCLA, Cal State Dominguez Hills. But right now I'm teaching high school students, and I love my high school students. So they're here with us. My presentation is called Uncover Your Worth. I think that this ties into beauty from ashes. I was born in a prison. I was born in the jail. My mother was incarcerated when she had me. She was affected by the war on drugs. She was dealing with a lot of her own childhood trauma. But anyways, born in a jail cell to an incarcerated mother. My grandmother picked me up at 2 days old. This is my grandmother, and she picked me up at 2 days old. My mother said, if you want them, come get them. Statistics say I'm supposed to be in prison. I'm supposed to be in jail. I'm supposed to be one of those incarcerated as well. But because of the choices, because of my village, because of my support system, that has blessed me to become a little bit of successful. I'm not there yet, but I've had a lot of different opportunities, and just being here with you is all, it's all of the world to me. This is a huge opportunity for me to come and speak with you all so that we can learn from one another, right? There is so much value, there is so much worth in our story, and sharing our story, and loving our story, and owning our story. And so quick about me, I'm a professor. I teach African American studies. I got my master's in African American studies. I got my bachelor's in sociology, both from UCLA, so I'm a double Bruin. Whoop, whoop. And so I was a teaching assistant. I was an organizing director while I was there. I was president of the Black Graduate Student Association. I was part of the transfer program, the Bruin Guardian Scholars, our foster youth. Whoop, whoop. I also serve as a youth and young adult pastor out here in Living Faith Cathedral. I'm in the part of the Democratic delegates. I'm a civic leader, very, very politically engaged. This is what I really want to encourage you all to do, is to get involved with your community, right? Right now, I'm working on this idea of cancel the contract, looking at removing police officers from our high schools in the Antelope Valley. Statistics show a whole lot. And if you want more information, please inbox me. I'll leave my number at the end. Also working on this U.S. Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Commission, looking to try to push it with the Biden and Harris administration. We have a meeting with the Department of Justice after this. So really, really just trying to, think about and reimagining what freedom, what liberation, what love looks like, what healing looks like in 2021. And I'm also a CEO of a new nonprofit. Shamika's been helping me. She's a great speaker. I can't wait to hear her on my nonprofit. It's called Jerry's Place, named after my grandmother, who is Geraldine. She was a foundational piece of my life, and I feel like that is the reason of why I am, and the most of my successes I credit to her at the end of the day. And so moving forward, this is my family. These are my little cousins. This is my support system growing up. Real quick, if you can, those that are on this call, I just want you to discuss 2 or 3 of your obstacles that you face in the Antelope Valley. Just drop them in the chat. How can we help you as a community? There we go. Town halls, community events, Cree, Maribel. There we go. So for me, I focus on my foster youth, my adoptees. And so what I like to try to highlight is the problems of our foster youth community. 1/3 of all foster youth never finish high school or get their GED. I was not supposed to do that. Only 3 to 5% from actually graduate from 4-year colleges. Foster youth are also on average more likely than their peers to experience suspensions, expulsions, and interactions with the juvenile justice system. The Antelope Valley is home to one out of every third foster youth in LA County. California ranks 36 in the nation among states in overall child well-being, and youth in foster care demonstrate the poorest high school graduation outcomes of any group. Stating that, looking at that, these are what statistics say that I and other foster youth are supposed to experience. There's an intersectionality that we must look at when we look at foster youth: first gen, race, gender, LGBTQ, class. Just imagine if you are a foster youth, then you are a Black foster youth, and then you're an LGBTQ foster youth. All these different systems and institutions and different weights and identities conform you to making you, feel even more marginalized. So I wrote this book called Uncovering Your Worth. It was dealing with a lot with fear. It was dealing a lot with not feeling love. And then also just about self-love and self-appreciation. Sometimes in life, because we experience so much trauma and so much drama, it causes us to really not love ourselves. Causes us not to really appreciate our vulnerabilities. So this is why I'm here today, is to challenge you. I love the speaker today. Alexis, you killed it. And you were right on point. I was just, okay, this is confirmation. There we go. Because if we don't speak about it, who's going to speak about it? And if we don't speak about it, then they're going to try to speak about it for you. And so we rather get ahead of the story, and let people know I'm not ashamed of what I've been through. And I love how Alexis said, I'm not a victim. Like, y'all can be sad all you want to, but I'm good. And this is where we get to once we realize our worth. Everyone on this call is great. Everyone on this call is a genius. Shamika's a genius. Johanna's a genius. Alexis is a genius. Britt is a genius. Because we have our own offerings to bring to society and to this environment. But also, I also want you to understand the importance of support systems. Everyone on this call should be a part of your support system. I'm gonna leave my information. You let me know so that we can connect and build and go from there, because I realized that support systems are important. I went to New Vista Middle School. I went to AV High School. My grandmother passed when I was 15 years old in high school. That was a traumatic experience for me. My mother was nowhere in my life. My father was nowhere in my life. And so for me, after my grandmother passed away, my foster family adopted me when I was a junior in high school. Because of them taking the chance of actually loving on me, it just allowed me to just flourish and go into a different thing. And so I want to encourage you to link up with the different people that is on this call, to also just appreciate what is going on in your own backyard. What are some of your solutions for building your community in Palmdale, the Antelope Valley, Lancaster? And how will you do this? How will you do this? My tips that I leave with you, social networks, build them. Travel abroad. So I'm launching this new project. It's called 1,000,000 Passports Project. If you want a passport, please reach out to me. I wasn't able to go out the country till I was 26. I don't want you to feel like you got to be stuck to Lancaster or Palmdale. Another story. Make your money, stay on the grind like Britt was talking about. Create your own business. Do that. Write your book. Alexis, I'm going to keep saying it. Write your book. Share your narrative. And then also volunteer. But lastly, be you, be authentic and unapologetic, okay? The power of an experience. Everyone has different experiences in life, both good and bad. It is these experiences that shapes our lives and bring things into perspective for us. At times, experience can teach us something about life, ourselves, and others. No matter what, some experiences are meant to be shared, not bottled up. There is someone who needs to know that they are not alone and that they can make it through just like you did. Our experiences are all different, but in some unique way, our stories connect us. So thank you so much for your time. That was like the fast version. So I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it, but be great and be you all. Okay. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
A challenging time in my life was at 7 years old when my father left our household. This event created many challenges, like not having a male role model to look up to and eventually stepping up to becoming the man of the household. Some coping skills that I used to overcome these challenges were staying active, staying involved in sports, and keeping friends around. My mother helped me through these challenging times as she was always there for me. A life lesson that I would share with others based on my experiences are to never give up because things will work out for the better.
Yes, my name is Mike Hernandez. I'm a youth career coach over at the Palmdale AJCC, so some of you might know me. I'm also the creative director and owner of a production company out here called Drip Creatives, and then I do poetry and spoken word on the side. I'm also a dad, so shout out to dad life too. Yeah, let's just get into some poetry, yeah? All right. You see, home is where the heart is, right? I mean, home is where the heart is, and my heart is not a home. You see, this heart is not a home. And this place passes actively while actively passing places. And he stands at a standstill in this landfill filled with false land that he can't seem to get his feet under. You see, it's pressuring and it's pain. And there are walls upon walls upon walls and covers that we continue to hide ourselves in for safety. But no amount of pillows and no amount of blankets will protect us. Our forts were make-believe. You see, and we wanted to believe that we could be something at least better than right now, right? I mean, that we can get out. And so we dreamed. Dreams that shot past stars and dreams that shot past galaxies, but misplaced steps loosened the gravel underneath our feet. And we fell. And we fell. But our legs are strong enough indeed. And so we kept running after something, eyes closed and a hold on to something lovely, running after something, eyes closed and a hold on to something lovely. You see, back around town now, he's back now, same place, different face, and it's changed up. Wow, like, wait, holy cow, like it's been a mile since you've walked this mile from frowns to smiles, and it's, well, I mean, it's just one of those days, right? When the breeze is real cool and the sun emits its rays like painties paint pictures of past places and past spaces. I'm flabbergasted on that track that he made it. Wait, hold on. Let's backtrack, right? I mean, a little further back to the pad when he dreamt the counted stacks, thinking, hey, that's not too bad. And then I'll have it made. Yeah, and I'll lay up in the shade like. And well, gravity has to be the only thing that is holding me down. You see, feet planted firmly, and his eyes could see everything that was about to happen. You see, it was a relapse back to the back, where the residue of the past meets the cracks of the hand, blistered and cracked, because fat stacks aren't enough to be the big cat or dog, whoever's wearing a hat, get it? I mean, it's a cat and hat reference. And a monster's mitten on this mic just might be enough for you to listen for a minute. Ears tickle because I give you more than an earful, maybe worth more than a nickel, and a piece of me just might make you tremble. And so I keep running after something, eyes closed and I hold on to something lovely, running after something, eyes closed and I hold on to something lovely, running after something, eyes closed and I hold on to something lovely, running after something, eyes closed. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Wow. You all, this is your career coach right here, the ones who sign you up for jobs and stuff.
Want to know more about the Youth at Work program? Hit us up. We would definitely love to plug you in, resource you, get you that work experience, build up your resume. And then also, if you just want to hit up my page, my Instagram page, you can go ahead and follow @DripCreatives. I can't type it in the chat right now, but @DripCreatives. So thank you so much, Lavelle, Tupea, Kristen, Shamika. I love y'all. Thank you so much for having me, and bless everybody who has shared their heart and who's still in here and listening to the words that are being spoken. So much love to everybody here.
All right. We love you too, boss. Thank you so much. We are going to give it up for our mentor, our entrepreneur, our lady of excellence, Miss Shamika Bogard. Let's give it up for her.
Just hyping me up, huh? Thank you, Mr. Lavelle. Hi, everybody. If you do not know me, my name is Shamika. I was actually the counselor for YouthBuild last year when I was finishing my social work degree. So YouthBuild is family. I love y'all so much. I love y'all students. I love all the staff. Y'all are so dope. So thank you for having me as one of y'all speakers. I'm super excited about it. So y'all see how the flower is coming up out of the concrete, a place where a flower should not be, right? So my title is Even in Adversity, We Rise. right? So the flower rises, even though that concrete should have suppressed that and taken that flower out, that flower still made it, right? So think of that as we speak throughout this time. I have 4 points. The top 2 people that remember my 4 points, email me and I'm going to give you guys gift cards, okay? So try to keep the 4 points in mind, all right? Okay, so point number 1, and Christian is so dope, y'all. Like, he already touched on this. So I'm just going to reinforce it. Y'all going to have it like deep in y'all minds after this. So number 1 is your environment is super important. So when I grew up in low-income housing. Of course, we did not know that, like being kids, that we are in low-income housing. And I hung out with some friends, some Black kids, some brown kids, and they would always say, like, I'm not good at school. I'm not good at this. I hate math. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at school. I'm not good at numbers. How many of us have said that? Like, can you put a little thumbs up or put in the chat, like, yo, I said that too, right? So I eventually started adapting to that mindset. I'm not good at school. I hate math, right? We've heard the quote, show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are, or show me who your friends are and I'll show you your future. And sometimes we can be like, that's not true. Like, I'm not like my friends. But what about your inner circle, right? You usually are kind of similar to your inner circle. Y'all have things in common. It's super important to know who's in your circle and to have encouraging people. So I kept saying, I'm not good at school. I'm not good at math. I can't do it, right? And early on in elementary school and middle school, they put me in support classes. Like, oh, you need math support. Oh, you need English support. And to be honest, did I really need that? Probably not. But all my friends said, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. So I just assumed I wasn't either. So in the bottom, it says, like, find people that will help you to become successful, right? So in 10th grade, I had a teacher come up to me and they're like, you're such a great student. We want to put you in AVID. I'm like, AVID? That's for the smart kids, right? That's not for me. I don't belong in AVID. If y'all don't know what AVID is, it's advancement via individual determination. That's the program that helps you to become prepared for college. The people with like the 3-inch binders, at least 3 inches, it gotta be 3 inches, right? Cornell notes, every week they're checking your binder. We actually had to apply for college. It was unacceptable to not apply for college. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to a university. And the counselor told me, like, no, you're not. Your grades aren't good enough. The counselor. Yeah. So I'm like, my grades are not good enough. Okay. So he's like, you're not getting into a university not in California. Just go ahead and stay and go to a community college. So I'm like, okay, go to a community college. So finally, I get to the point after everybody saying, like, I hate math, I'm not good at school. I get past that mindset and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to a university, right? Then I hear the counselor like, no, you're not good enough. You're not going to go to community college, right? So now I'm back to thinking like, oh, well, I'm not good enough for that, right? And sometimes we can do that. We can get the courage and then boom, somebody puts us back and we have to fight against that, right? So my point number 2 would be to push back. Y'all see the red character on this picture? They're going the other way. Everybody is telling you negative stuff. You're not good enough. You're not going to college. You're not good at math. You're not good at this, right? We have to decide and push back, go against that grain. Why can't you? Why can't you? He said I couldn't go to university. I applied at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and got accepted and went to college. And I went back and told the counselor, like, oh, but you told me I couldn't, right? You told me I couldn't. I just wanted to let you know what's up, you know? So push back. Do not allow people to tell you what you can't do based upon what they can do, right? Other people's expectations in life, they're not your expectations. You set the tone for your own life, okay? So push back. So I went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas at 18. And then shortly after, unexpectedly, my mom passes away. Like, we did not expect that. And I was like, okay, finally made it to college. And then boom, something unexpected happened. So I'm like, I don't want to go back to school. This is just too much. I'm only 18. What am I going to do without my mom? She's not going to be there to see me graduate. I don't want to do it. But I knew that she would have wanted me to keep going. So I did. I finished. I persevered. And then after, couldn't find a job. I was like, what is going on? So I ended up going to grad school. I got my master's in social work. But along the way, in the middle of grad school, then my dad passed away from heart failure unexpectedly. I'm like, dang, we doing this again. And I'm Christian. So I'm like, okay, God, we on this roller coaster again. One more time, huh? Just one more time. So I was like, okay, here we go again. And I'm not going to finish school again. I'm through. I need a break. And I knew that my dad would have wanted me to finish and my mom would have wanted me to finish. So I was like, if I stop, if I drop out of school, because this was right at the beginning of 2020, right? I was like, if I drop out of school, I'm not going back. I was like, I'm done. I've been in school my whole life. I was like, that's a wrap. So I finally decided to just stick with it. And then, of course, we had like COVID and like all the craziness, right? I remember like right before COVID, sitting in my car, because I was a counselor at YouthBuild, sitting in my car and I would be crying. Like, I am not going in there. I cannot do it today. And I'd be in the car like, Shamika, you got this. You are going to finish this. You are stronger than this. Come on, wipe your tears. And I would go into YouthBuild like, what's up, y'all? Like, they wouldn't even notice. But I decided to persevere through all of that because I knew I would come out stronger on the other side. So my next point would be to persevere no matter what. No matter what. People tell you that you can't do something. People are just people, right? We're just people. Christian talked about being graceful with people, giving grace, being compassionate. People are just people. Let people be people, and you do your best. You get up again. You try again. You set your own goals because you can do anything. Why not? Why not? Every time I want to do something and somebody's like saying something negative, I'm in my own mind like, nah, why not? Why can't I? Watch me do it. And then I'm gonna come back and be like, so what's up? I did it, right? And y'all can do whatever you want to. All of my former students, I love y'all. Y'all can do anything. All the students that I don't know, nice to meet you. You can do anything. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. Okay, so this is my Beauty from Ashes story. From poverty and low income housing and being like, oh, I'm not good at school. All my friends selling drugs, like I'm gonna just do that too. Everybody joining gangs, I'm gonna just do that too. From poverty to CEO. I didn't say it in the beginning, but I'm the founder and executive director of Youth with a Purpose nonprofit. And I am also the CEO of Radiant Edge. And I have another business that I have not announced yet, but yes, from poverty to CEO, because why not? Why not? Right? And then from support classes to professional graduate degree. So I was like, I went from English support to math support to AVID and honors and AP classes to master's in social work. Like what? Because we can do anything that we put our minds to. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. And y'all see my degree in the middle. I had to keep my mom and dad at the forefront of my mind. Like I know they would have wanted me to do this. I'll do it only if it's only for the reason for them, that's good enough. If I can't encourage myself that day, I know that my parents would have wanted me to do it. So I encourage y'all to create your own Beauty from Ashes story because we all have one. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not important, that your story is not important. Who are they to say that? You tell yourself that you are important. You can do anything, anything. Y'all are going to graduate. Y'all are going to go in the world and kill it because why not? I encourage you after this to write down your own story. Share it with me. Share it with Christian because he loves y'all too. Let us know what is going on. We want to hear your stories. And of course, support support. We want to support y'all. If y'all need a mentor, hit me up. If y'all want a man that's a mentor, hit Christian up. He loves working with the youth. This is like my bonus tip. Like, always find a mentor. Find people that actually believe in you. Because number one, your environment is important, right? If people are not supporting you and they're talking down about you, that's not the right group. That's not the right group. Everybody's talking about find your tribe, build your tribe. Find the people that will plant seeds of hope to water your purpose. That is my mission for my nonprofit. I strongly believe in that. Find the people that are cultivating you, that are bringing out your best, not your worst, not your worst. I have the friends that's like, we gonna turn up. And then I have the friends that are like, let's work. Okay. So find a good balance. Find a good balance so that you can become who you want to become and continue to persevere. So this is my information. Y'all can text me, you can email me, follow me on Instagram, and that is it.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness. This cap has been beyond what we could expect. Again, I appreciate our community. I appreciate our speakers. Let's give a push-up to our awesome teachers. Push-up, claps, dances, because they work around the clock, literally, to make sure the young people are supported academically as well as emotional. And so our counselors, Delana and Joanna, you guys are doing a fantastic job. Just awesome, awesome. And so the last thing I'm gonna do, and to our awesome students, let's unmute our mics and yell, clap for our students. You guys are awesome. You all did it. Awesome, awesome.
Great job, everyone.
Yes, yes.
Y'all,
Yes, y'all
yes,
did
you
it.
guys are awesome. Everyone is so amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, they did it. Shaking, scared, don't want to be on camera, but they did it. They did it. We got some we got some books in the making after this. Alexis.
We came through.
Don't be stubborn.
We persevered, even virtually.
Keep up the good work, you guys.
Yes, awesome, fantastic. Woo woo. And so what I'm asking you to do, I'm hanging out for a little bit if anybody want to chat and talk. But as you are leaving, what I will ask you to do, and I got this from one of our community partners, one word that describes the event for yourself. Just one word to describe how are you feeling with this event. This is amazing thing. Informed, motivated, connected. I love it. Inspired, influenced, informed, special, connected, encouraged, empowered, amazing, inspired. Awesome. This is good. This is good. This is what we desired and prayed for. All right. So if you all need to leave, have a good one.